probably a little far away from it. You should sound a little better. Let me cut the music down a little bit. Test one, test two. Oh, you good. You're good. You're fine. It actually just reminded me that I was going to do that today. So that's good. Personal issues today. I'm fine though. I actually appreciate that you messaged me earlier. That helped me to get like on point. It reminded me that I am streaming. You weren't that late actually when you messaged me. I think you were only 15 minutes late. I mean 15 minutes early. I was streaming at 5, but I ended up streaming at 5:30. I needed to take a minute. What's up, Lanoon? What's happening? Why does it keep doing this? What is going on? Why is it, you know what? Why ask why? Why ask a question I don't want to answer to? Let's try this again. I don't know why it's doing that, but for some reason, it's opening up documents at like impossible small size, at fun size, which is not what I want, as you can probably imagine. Should be a bit better. I don't know why it's doing that. It is so weird to me. There's literally no reason for it to do this. Really sketchbook? Okay. Alright. Again, I actually really like the way the track came out, which surprised me because I didn't plan this track at all. I just kind of did it. Might need to be there. Move this tray over here. That's where my coffee is at. I got my coffee. I got the piece up. So, a couple of things came to my mind with this piece that I need to look at. I'm going to try and finish it today, but we'll see, because I only got an hour and a half. Layer editor. Now, what came to my mind was I was looking at this and like where the pose is balanced. And I realized that it doesn't make sense. She can't hold this entire scythe with just this hand. Both of these hands need to come from under, which is, I initially had this as a hand going under and holding it up. So we're going to go back to that. The question is how? I'm not even going to use a reference. This is safe, so I'm not worried about this. I'm going to get rid of this. It's fine. Hopefully the day is treating y'all better than treating me right now. I'm having a day. I'm doing better now. It's just, for the most part, I'm doing better. It's just one of those days where everything's getting to me, and then certain things annoyed me today. It was like, I'll deal with it. I'm kind of there. And now I decided to play Street Fighter on top of that. Because my blood punished me. If I just got on here and resolved this hand issue in like 2 seconds after struggling for days to figure out what I want to do for the pose, I'm gonna be annoyed. I did. Son of a bitch. You know what? That's a good sign. That's a good thing. I like it. That thing needs to curl a little bit more. This one does too. That thing needs to curl a little more. And this one needs to go flat over. away a bit. There we go. Make sure I don't get Sasha's fingers. It's amazing with some time away from it, it'll do it for you. I mean, if you're arching into it, it's good. Yeah, I got to. Like, if I'm gonna get where I want to get and do what I want to do, I have to start doing it. I gotta keep it regular. Even on days where it sucks, I gotta do it. Not the art stream itself. This is actually fun. This is giving me some well-needed release, which is not something that art was doing for me for a while. So this is good. What the hell? Did I just resolve? Kinda. That finger could stand to be smaller. It's a little too big. That one too, actually, a little too big. And her sleeve holes will run over that, so like this. You know what? It's good enough for government work. We're running with it. I'm pretty sure the thumb should probably be like off to the side over here or something like that, but I'm going to assume it's on the other side of that. I'm not going to stress it. Nobody's going to know unless I point it out like I just did. Which means now anybody that's on the stream will know. So you guys are my witnesses. I'm holding you to the secrecy. You will not share that secret. Sometimes you break anatomy to make it look better. One gentleman was offering to show, to teach me how to draw hands. It's not that I don't know how to draw hands. I can do them. It's just frustrating. I don't like them. I don't like drawing hands. That's the problem. Well, I shouldn't say it like that. No, yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I don't like drawing hands a lot of the time. They're fun. They're fun once I get into them and I get them done right. But the process of setting up how they should feel, how they should look, that's where it gets annoying. I've actually been rethinking her hair again, and so I may do something else with her hair. I have a clearer idea of what the character should look like now, and you know why? I'm gonna show you why. Because I'm here. I'm gonna give you guys hands. Hands. Get these hands. I like playing with the camera. I don't know why. I'm gonna give you guys a lowdown. I'm gonna stop the music, in fact. So this is what I did today at some point that I will not mention what time that I did it. I did it on my lunch. So I started laying out the plot for this comic and everything, and like the character stuff that I've been meaning to put down. So I put all this down today. So like I started writing this down now, so I know where everything's at. It's like a basic outline. I've already envisioned what the end is gonna look like of the story, but I've not written it yet. And so because of that, I have the characters' names. And I wasn't sure if I was going to stick with them or not, but I guess I am. I don't know if it's going to stay Flair the Viper or just Flair Viper. I think I might just make it Flair Viper. Flair the Viper was kind of cool, but you don't want to have both of them be the. Eerie is definitely the Wanderer, though. So the character that you're looking at on this page is Flair the Viper, or Flair Viper. The names are very much, I'm choosing very, not corny, but very, kind of corny. Very, like, to the point names. Because it's kind of the nature of the story. Also, I should mention that the setting takes place in the same setting as my other project I'm working on, which is Saber Sisters. Which is also not done yet, but it takes place in the same universe. And it's basically two of the characters that I had in this story. Let me see. Dragons, no dragons, World Info, character bios. It should be in character bios. Yeah, Flair Viper. Yeah. So in this story, initially she was going to be a villain, but I think she's not going to be a villain now. I didn't have an idea what the character's going to be just yet, but I already started kind of getting an idea from there. But you can see it's the same hairstyle, and now I look at it, I forgot I did this. This sketch is actually the beginning sketches of Cobra, and then I turned Cobra into a different character. And so I was like, well, I still had this cool sketch of this character that I love, that I thought was really dope. So I'm going to use this to start Flair Viper off. And so yeah, and now she's kind of resurfaced in this design. And so that definitely is her look. Flare Viper. So yeah, but in the initial writing, she was a villain, but now she's not gonna be a villain anymore. Um, Lightning Viper is actually the same character that's about to be used for what's her name? For Iria. Character morphing. It's fun. It's interesting how it works when you come up with different ideas for characters and they suddenly morph into other characters. Um, Claire, Molly. I've done some of the character designs. So the main comic, the big comic that's gonna come after this little series, is still being worked on. I'm still working out the story progression and stuff like that. There's Cobra. I think maybe do I have it here? No, I don't. Okay, Cobra. I love Cobra too. I love all these characters. Irving actually is gonna be in this comic as well. So anyway, I just showed that to kind of show how stuff connects. But I started getting the characters together. So Flare has more of a personality. I'm getting an idea of what she's about. I'll read this off. Flare Viper, a battle-obsessed, toughened-up warrior woman who sees everything as an obstacle to her ultimate goal of becoming the best hunter in existence, bar none. The moment she finds out that Iria is the top hunter in the guild she's joined, she seeks to dethrone her. However, Flare instead falls for her almost instantly, teaming up with Iria and then dating her all within a week of meeting her. Flare then spends a good amount of her time internally arguing with herself about the nature of her relationship with Iria, strangely unable to parse just what the hell is happening. Although to everyone else, it's pretty clear she's absolutely in love. So that's kind of her character archetype. That's her background, her basic introduction. She wants to be the very best, like no one ever was. And then, but rather than think of it as if think of like Vegeta and Goku. She's the Vegeta of the two. But think of it in the sense that instead of Vegeta and Goku fighting and getting married to separate people, instead of that, Vegeta fell in love with Goku and they became a couple and fought people, basically, or hunted down, that kind of deal. That's basically the story I was coming in my head. Like, what if the two rivals fell in love? Well, okay. And I was like, all right, well, yeah. So that's what I kind of went with. And so yeah, Flare, and then like Iria. I kind of have a picture of what I want Iria to look like. It's not the other character design I have. It's gonna be different, but it's kind of the same idea of the personality. I guess I can read something out to a very attractive woman who hides an unbelievable power in her unassuming frame. Though she's considered the best dragon hunter in her guild, she has also made her incredibly lonely. Despite Flare's vocal demand for a mutual rivalry, Iria instead charms into a relationship that, against all obvious odds, flourishes? Despite this, Iria is not without ambition. Now that she's seen her with whom she considers the only hunter who can match her, she knows there's very little chance anyone will take their spot at the top of the guild, meaning they'll also get more jobs, more challenging hunts, and more rewards. Spending her days in bliss with the hunter she loves is the ultimate dream for her. However, she knows there's a shadow stalking her, and many other hunters want to know the secret of her mysterious powers. How long can she keep them all secret, and can she keep Flare at her side too? And so that's her story layout, and I did that earlier. Again, this is all just like preliminary. I normally wouldn't share this kind of like preliminary work because I'm still like working on it, but I just kind of felt like it today because you know what, I'm in a bad mood and I just like talking about story stuff. But also gives you an idea of what I'm thinking of with the characters. And this is kind of how I begin my stories. A lot of times when I write them, as if I'm writing them to myself as a teaser. I've told somebody about this before. I think I mentioned it on stream before, but when I write story ideas or I try and get ideas about like where I'm gonna go with plots and stuff like that, I write them to myself. I pitch to myself basically. I write what I would see on the back of the box, or like a character dossier that would intrigue me. You remember me saying that? Yeah. And I think it's just, for me, this is not something that's universal, not something everybody has to do, but I think for me, it helps me to be able to tell other people what the story is about and how it progresses or what it's going for, because I've already written out kind of that teaser of, what people can see or expect from the story. And it makes it easier too when I finally make a website or something for to make like a back of the book thing for real. I can just actually take this text and put it there, obviously with some corrections. I can just put that text there that's already done. And then also, you always do a log line. Where's it at? Log line. And your log line, basically, I gotta make sure I get this right, but your log line is essentially who's the main character or characters, what are they doing, and what's trying to stop them. And that's what I kind of look at. Or what's their impediment. So, a literal odd couple of hunters set out to beat every other team of hunters in the guild while chasing down the demonic entity creating the dragons that terrorize people. That's the log line. That's kind of goofy for a lot. I gotta kind of fix that one up. That's the first draft of it, but it's kind of giving me an idea where I'm gonna go with it. And then the short setup goes to the entire story. I'm not gonna read it all out. That's a lot. Um, but I write it as if it's again as if it's like back in the box text. So, and then my sell is how I would sell it to other people. I haven't done that yet. So this is all in one day. I've just written this down since yesterday. I started this idea 2 days ago. So you know, give me time. I'm not that great. I'm not good. So yeah. So with all that being said, now because I've written that stuff down, the visual I have for Flare is starting to come more and more in tune. I'm starting to see it more through both this and through the character design itself. And like her facial expression, like kind of her like mean look, it's starting to make a lot more sense. It's a starting point, exactly. Now the thing is, I'm gonna try and fast track this so I can get a webcomic started like very soon, rather than what I would normally do. So, like if you look at the other, I use OneNote, by the way. OneNote, I highly recommend as a tool to store your notes. There's also be right back. Okay, there's also a website called World Anvil that's really great, but I have not gotten into it yet. I have an account. I haven't built anything on it yet. I got to put some more time into it. I still have time to build. I'm used to using OneNote, so I kind of just take that and use it to build all my stories out. But OneNote, or any kind of notebook software, there's another one I use actually too. I was using before. I got to OneNote. The reason I use OneNote now is because OneNote, I can load OneNote on my iPad, on my laptop. I can load OneNote on any computer that I can get access to. I can open it up, look at my stuff, and it's there. Because it's not like limited to like either on Mac side or Windows side or whatever. Growly Notes is another one I used. It's still called Growly Notes, right? Yeah, Growly Notes. Yeah, Growly Notes was another one I used. This one is Apple specific, but this is also how I laid out stuff. This is actually my YouTube notes, so this is not really. You're seeing how the bread was baked. But this is like my YouTube notes and like my tags and stuff I can use real quick. But that's not what you're here for. Let's open another notebook so you can see exactly. I'm not sure why I started sharing this right now, but whatever. It's cool. This is what my notebooks start looking like when I get really into a series. Makes sense. I have a similar series of dots through Google stuff. Yeah. I used to do it through Google Docs actually before I got to like using Notepad or notebook stuff. Like OneNote or Growly Notes. But then when I found stuff like this, it's made it a lot easier for me to like world build and get everything together and kind of organize it out and start doing timelines. I used to have a timeline app that I lost because it was part of my school curriculum, and I lost access to it a long time ago. And I really want to get it back. The timeline app really helped me to lay out the timeline for Bug and get everything together. And I kind of need to redo it. So I'm kind of putting Bug 2 together like with glue and toothpicks right now. But yeah, this is what it starts to look like when I really build a notebook out. Like these are all outlines of like how each season was supposed to, not season, session, each story arc was supposed to go for each book. Because I think I had 6 books planned. Now it's down to 4 books. It may go back to 5. But I'm only on book 2, so I gotta get that done first. But I planned all this stuff out way ahead of the time. Or I tried to anyway. I think I never did finish it here. I think I finished this outline somewhere else. But I started writing it here. A lot of these characters aren't even there anymore. They changed over since I've been writing it. And so I gotta update a lot of these sheets. But like I even put in these notebooks too, you can actually put like pictures of characters that you saw in the other one. Oh, this is X's artwork, or a sack lunch. He was helping me out. We were working as a group to get this stuff together, to get this project going, and then it just ended up kind of. This was like back when we were like just leaving school, so it kind of fell apart. And I just took it and just started working with Ellen as a novel. So yeah. Let me see. But yeah, like this is all the writing work I've put together in here and assembled. And I'm really glad I said it before I say it again. I'm really glad I changed Zoe's character, because before she was very much just like super stereotypical. Oh, she's Japanese. She must be a ninja. And I'm like, no, I'm changing that. That's not gonna fly. I changed it years ago, and I'm like, I'm glad I got away from some of the like really annoying tropes of characters. Let me see, but that's Growly Notes. Growly Notes is actually a pretty cool program too, but it's not as universal. I can quit it now. But yeah, OneNote. Again, this is all I do. I just make. Oh, I have jury notes. Look at this, jury notes. Look at that. I don't know why these are here. The main store's keeper, heavy kick, and light kick. Light kick is super important for zoning and footsies plus meaties and Oki. Navi kick is important to keep for make your wow. I typed that really badly. To make your stand medium kick stand medium push stand medium kick special worth a knockdown. Hey, not story yet. Back wow. I had this is when I was really into trying to learn Juri. I was don't let nobody ever tell you I didn't try. I played it earlier today. I'm still mad. I'm like I just cannot. It just does not work. I'm much more comfortable with Poison now. I want to play Juri so. I want to play Juri so bad because I love that character and I want to play it so bad. But it does not click with me in that game. Like some matches I do okay, but it just doesn't work. Anyway, it's neither here nor there. It's not writing. It's not drawing. So we're not gonna talk about that much. Night Engine. Oh, I was doing this, huh? Started doing that too. Okay, I didn't finish that one up though. Yeah. Anyway, you get the idea. This is what I do for stories. This is how I lay it out. I miss SF4 Juri. SF5 just ain't hidden enough for that. Yeah. I don't want to go into that rant because, like, it's weird because I absolutely miss. I wouldn't say SF4 Juri. I miss Cross Tekken Juri because it felt like that was what I really wanted from Juri to begin with. That version of Juri is perfect for me. Like, this is my character. And so I'm sad that I don't have that version of Juri anymore because, damn, that was the one for me. She was the everyman tool. She had everything, and she teamed with pretty much everybody. And then they were like, you know what? We don't like how this character plays. Told this today. I'm getting over some food poisoning. Ooh, God. Oh, man. Yes. No, it's all good, man. Just sit back and relax. Hopefully you feel better. Ugh. I know the feeling of food poisoning, man. It's the worst. All right, enough about Juri. No more Juri. We're done with that. That was just a quick side talk. So, yeah. So, Flair. And so I just really want to show that time to show, like, the process I went through to get to this point. Like I said, I'm going to try and remember to kind of interject this a little bit more so people can see, like, how I build my writing stuff, too. And I really want to do some more in-depth videos about how I story building and stuff like that. But I got to get some more story stuff done first. So, yeah, but it's like the beginnings of it. And this is how I'm going to start the comic off. But, yeah. Let's play again. Actually, let's not play. Let's go to YouTube. So last time I recorded, I went and used what happened here? Why? What is with? Okay. Oh, I was watching my video. I was checking my video to make sure it wasn't broken.
You hold on a second there.
Yeah, I will hold on a second. For what? Oh, got more views. Sweet. So yeah, this is also something I do. I go back and look at my videos and make sure they didn't explode when I upload them. So there's that. The content email. Exactly. So I was gonna say, when I went back and looked, oh, that I don't want to see that. Okay, so I saw that video about Luke Harper. That still messes with me, man. I just can't believe he passed. That's still crazy to me. Rest in peace. That just hit. I don't know. That hit me the other day. I don't even know how. It's so out of nowhere, man. Anyway, yeah. What was I saying? Music, right? Game music. Game soundtracks seem to be the safe bet. I didn't get tagged in my last video because it's all game soundtracks. So I'm gonna actually go back to the. No, I'm gonna do Earthbound. I did Earthbound the other day. Let's go. Oh, I know a game. I want the OST is actually on here. There's no way. Is it the entire? It is. It's Mr. Lynn. I'm gonna play this on my channel one day so you guys can actually see what this game is about. It's a weird puzzle game. Look, it's got some cool music though. Yeah, I got another one already that's going up. There's some Atari ST games. It'll be live, I think, Tuesday? I think it's live tomorrow. Don't quote me. It's live someday this week. It's already uploaded. Like my videos for this week already uploaded. I'm trying to get back in the habit of having videos ready for the entire week. This week I got 4. 2 Monster Hunter World videos, 1 Monster Hunter Generations video, and then 1 Atari ST video with 2 games in it. So there's that. So anyway, back to Flare Viper. We're finally back to drawing now. 5:56. Oh, we're gonna be on here until like 6:30 or until about 7 o'clock probably. So I'll do an hour. My intent today is to get this finalized and to like start actually drawing. I'm trying to start actually coloring. I'm gonna color this specifically. Let's get for Pro, most likely. First things first, I want to make sure that I like the layout. I really like how this hand turned. I just did that. I like how this hand turned out. Again, technically your thumb is like right here against the side of it, but I don't want to do that because it's going to make that really hard to read. So we're just going to pretend that thumb is actually right here. And you guys are the only witnesses. No one else knows that. It's between me and you. Listen. Me and you. It's us. Only we know that. I'm trying to think if this one is right, and I think it is. I think we actually branch off like that. Let me see. Right, in the YouTube audience. But who's gonna see it on YouTube? Only. Actually, I'm gonna say it. I would say a few thousand people. Like a few thousand people are not gonna see my video. I wish that was the case. Someday we'll get to that point, but not today. And I'll change my mind on OSC, so I started with OSC. I spelled that completely wrong. Yeah. Here's one. It's a puzzle game. It's kind of like Lemmings meets. It's very hard to explain. It's like Lemmings meet Populous. It's really not Populous. Damn. It's like Lemmings, but you command knights and you have to fight against enemy like knights. And the whole point I think is to get King Arthur to the exit. I can't remember. It's been a long time since I played it. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and hit in SNES Drunks video here. This starts off with this. Ooh, okay, hold up. Is there an extended version? There's gotta be. Oh god, an hour-long version? Let's see how long we can stay this before I switch. It is. It's really good. But is it an hour long good? Alright, let me get to doing this. I'm stalling. So, the other thing. I've actually come to really like this bodysuit idea. But I'm trying to think of things to spice it up to make it a little bit different. Like, I like the sleeves. I like that. I do like this design mostly if I have going on here. So I'm gonna look up, let's see. I gotta be careful doing this because yesterday we looked at Chun-Li, but I want to look at sports body suit designs. So I just want to get some kind of like idea of like something I could do differently. Like I like this. It's not gonna show me just a picture, is it? No, okay. I should probably put women's. I'll put designs, right? Yeah, okay. Like, so I guess what she's wearing is something like this. I don't know if you guys see that clearly on stream. Probably not. Let me see. If I go to this site, will it blow it up big enough? I want to make sure I can actually show you guys a picture. I wish SNES music was a genre people still make me fun. They actually do, like, there's people that use, like, SNES sound fonts really well. Is there a way to blow it up large enough so I can, like, really show the design pattern? This actually isn't that far from what I have, like, the way it's going around the leg here. So if I look at mine, yeah, it's something like that. I think if I were to cut it higher across here, it would probably match that more. I kind of want to get something like more of a, like a pattern. But the thing, like I said yesterday when I was doing this design, is like, the thing about putting a pattern on there is that I have to repeat that pattern consistently when I draw it in the comic. And so if I put a pattern on her, it's got to stay. Like, it's got to be something I'm willing to draw constantly and consistently. That's a bit much. This is a bit much. That's, nah, we're not doing all that. That's just, like, come on, man. That's just, what is going on there? What is happening there? That's not what I was doing. What is happening? What is happening here? Is that a bodysuit? What is going on? I can't scroll it for some reason. I don't know why. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's a body shaper. That's why. Okay, that makes sense. So I'm looking like, ain't nobody wearing that nowhere. That's too much. Create a pattern that's like look and feel. So when I say pattern, I should probably clarify. When I say pattern, not like a pattern like this. This wouldn't be no problem. Skip wouldn't be no problem. Because yeah, like you said, you could paint it and you could just warp it to make it fit around the body shape. And so that'd be fine. But something more asymmetrical, like something like this, I'll have to remember to draw those lines exactly that way every single time. You know what I mean? In everything, and I have to keep track of that in every single pose, depending on left and right. And I want to make sure I avoid that complication when I make designs. I try to avoid that in general, just because it makes it really annoying to, like, with any design, when you make stuff that's like super asymmetrical. It's cool looking, and especially when you're doing like a comic. But if you have to do any kind of like movement or draw a character a ton of times, it gets really annoying really fast. But I think something like that, that's small, that's on either side, could work. Like this little design here or whatever. I'm not sure what that design is. I can't tell from this zoom. I'm about to click on it. Let's see. Let's go like clothing logos. Let's see. Clothing pattern logo. Maybe we can find something that kind of jogs something. That's not gonna do it. Well, maybe. Hang on. Let's see, sports. Nah, it's not gonna do. It's not gonna do anything. Okay. Trying to find something that could. I don't think there's anything that's like jumping out at me like, okay, this is gonna like give me a quick idea. I may be on my lonesome, but actually this, when I'm thinking of like a floral design of some sort, of like some kind of design I could put on there, I'm thinking of something like this. Oh, this is gonna zoom my way out. So something like that. It wouldn't necessarily be a flower or anything, but all right, that lasted long enough. We can play something else now. Oh, I'm about to go. Yeah, okay, we're doing that. I'm sorry, everybody. I have an example of my own characters. I don't know why I didn't just look at that. Hang on. So perfect. See how this pattern is right here? This is what I mean. Something like that is asymmetrical. I have to remember that every time. No apology necessary. Right on. This is old artwork Clear Saber. I remember do this. I was so proud of this design. Now we did her. I'd like to redo better. But let me see. I was looking for like the design pattern, right? Okay, not there. I drew Molly so much. There we go. So yeah, here we go, like this. Pretty much my Molly design. See, I got this pattern down here. I got the pattern on her like cloth here. Now I can kind of cheat this because I don't have to remember this exactly. But I want to do something like that. And that's what I'm thinking. Not only back at this might actually give me a better idea. I think if I'm gonna make her design stand out with this bodysuit, I might give her either like a sash or like a something like this. I love this design for her. I've gone away from it now, but it was so dope at the time. You know what? I'm gonna give her this. I'm actually gonna give her that. Let's try that out. This is fun time. Let's try some stuff out. There are no limitations. Just do whatever comes to mind. If I want to try this out, I'm going to try this out. One thing I'm going to do. Oh, no! I'll explain my reasoning in a minute. Not that I have to explain myself to you people. I don't have to explain myself to you, but I will, because I'm not mean. I'm gonna explain myself. That pen is way thin. Hang on. Let me see. I saw. Hey, what's up, Jam? On the space track, yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool too. Comic where the main character uses a shark as a buster sword. That's pretty dope. I like that. Just a giant shark. So I was thinking about making Flair's hair short again, but I'm not sure if I like it or not. But just for the moment, so I'm gonna try this character design thing with this cloth. I'm gonna see how I like it. I don't do enough short hair characters. All my characters end up having long hair. I'm not sure. I mean, I lean towards long hair myself in general, including myself. Is why I'm still frustrated that I don't have locks anymore. Provided I don't grow a bald spot, I'm still growing my locks back. It's a slow process, but we're getting there. This is 2 months in, 2.5 months in, and we got decent length right now. So hopefully by March, I'll have locks. I'll have like the starter locks. Anyway. Cold coffee. It's a great dinner. So let's make this bigger. That's wrong, actually. So I can talk about the characters a little bit because I already got like a lot of their stuff playing out in my head. So the interesting thing about this pair, about this couple, is that Flare, like I said, she's basically Vegeta, except a little bit more self-aware. But she definitely has the same aloofness, the same like seeking to be the strongest kind of deal. She's very obsessed with like being the best hunter in their guild. I should mention this takes place in the far, far future. So when I say they're hunting dragons, which right now the current name of it, I don't know if you saw the what's the name, but the current name of the story is Hunting Dragons. They're hunting dragons, but the dragons they're hunting aren't like traditional dragons. Quotes. Not actual, they're like the traditional like Rathian, Rathalos dragon, European dragon, Eastern. They're not dragons. They are related to them, but they're pretty much all monsters are called dragons, basically. And so her obsession is just that she wants to be the very best, like no one ever was. To kill them all, to capture them all is her great test. To get money off of them is her cause. Flare will travel across the land, searching far and wide. Each bounty to fatten her pocket, to make it hard to stuff it back inside. Hunting dragons. Alright, sorry, that was stupid anyway. Also, I don't know how many times was that spoiler. No. So this is two different universes. So Pilar's in a different universe. This takes place in the exact same, not the same universe, the same city in the area as Molly's story takes place in. Molly being the character I spoke a minute ago. This character. Because their story is still being worked on. I want to make sure I make that very abundantly clear. I have not abandoned this comic. This comic and this story is all still being worked on. Final character work? That's not right. I know it ain't right at all. Hang on. Final character work? You're lying. Is that the most reason I got in here? I guess it is. Yeah, so these characters still... This is Molly. This is what Molly looks like now, basically. Right here. So I pointed to the screen like y'all can see it. This is basically what she looks like now. This is what Molly's design has evolved into. This and this. But yeah, their story is still being told. That hasn't changed. Okay. But so it takes place in their time frame. And so the way that I have it planned right now, this might be going too far into detail because nobody's gonna know what the hell I'm talking about. But basically, these two this couple is gonna be the couple that Molly and Star meet when they get hired into this guild temporarily or on a trial basis. And so when you see them, like, when I initially wrote that, when I originally wrote their story, you would meet these two characters, you wouldn't know who they were. But now you would know, like, oh, that's those two characters from this comic. Because this comic is like a prequel to that. You learn how they got together, basically. So that's kind of the plan I have. Like, it's kind of a universal. But the reason I decided to split this off because I wanted to do something totally different and totally new from the other characters. And I'm starting trying to do something like a small story. I want to keep it splintered off. It might be the same universe and it might relate to other characters, but I want to be over here because that way I'm not bringing in this like larger universe, making like this big deal. This is a comic I want to work on and kind of just kick out. Not to say it's like not worthwhile, because it's absolutely worthwhile. But I want to get jump started on it and get into it without having like a lot of baggage, if that makes sense. And if I were to try and make Molly and Star and Molly's comic like that, the Saber sisters, it would not go well because there's like a lot of stuff on her and employ that. But with this, I can keep it simple and goofy, and more manageable. Exactly. And to be fair, it's just right now the main thing is that this is what I'm cutting my teeth on, basically. Okay, so I like this, but let's do something. Let's do something even wilder. Cause I'm a sucker for capes, or capes and scarves. Scarves in particular. Like a lot of my main characters, you would notice have scarves. I am a scarf guy. I'm actually a scarf guy in real life, honestly. So let's just give her a dumb scarf. Like a scarf that nobody in their right mind would actually wear and expect it to do anything helpful. But get in the way. Look at the size of that scarf. Look at that scarf. Look at it. Not even that big of a scarf, honestly. That scarf, it's a medium-sized scarf. I'm sure it'll be alright. I'm sure it's fine. La da 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 da. Look at that scarf. That bitch is huge. Wrap yourself in it. Could probably use it to swing across a giant ravine full of ravenous monkeys. Something like the song is named. Why am I singing anyway? But yeah, you could definitely. This is a Geronimo scarf. This is a scarf you can wear. Oh boy, that is a giant scarf actually. What if I did this? Let's not make it this way. I could make it pull on the ground too, like it's that big, but what would be the fun of that? Let's make it S this way. And maybe other characters want. Oh, God spit. Oh my God. Ugh. I don't know if y'all saw it. Ew. It like blah blah. I'm not sure why I'm spitting everywhere, but that was gross. That was, oh man, that was gross. I'm sorry. Y'all didn't see that good, because that was gross. It was spittle all over the place. I spit all over the, bro, my entire tablet was like, COVID-19, COVID-19, I blow. Do what they got. That dude is crazy. Anyway, perhaps other characters will warn her that her scarf is way too long. They'll be like, listen, you realize that with the scarf being that long, they can just listen to the airplane propeller. Yeah, you know what? That's a good point. If it's by airplane propeller, it might be too long. But maybe it's so long that other characters like warn her, and like she gets in battles and she often gets tugged by her scarf. Like dragons just grab her and just, and then she never catches on. She's like, why do people do that so much? And everybody's like, it's your scarf. Or yeah, that too, get caught in the things, yeah. She go take off running, it's like it's caught in the door every time. Now this is all fun and games, but this is actually stuff you want to think about during character design. Like this is stuff that comes up. I mean, obviously it's all stuff you probably think about when you're like first thinking of the character, but in this case we're thinking backwards because we're going backwards. So just roll with it. Just roll with a brother on this journey as we design a character. Just roll with it. It's okay. I do like where this is going. The scarf did add a new dimension to it. No, I just can't have it can't just be a bodysuit, but I wanted to have a bodysuit. I like the bodysuit. It's pretty cool. And it's not airtight and vacuum sealed either, which I hate. I hate vacuum sealed bodysuits. Unless that's what you're going for. If you're going for cheesecake and you're drawing a pinup or something like that, that's absolutely, I totally get it. It's acceptable. It's supposed to be sexy. So that I understand. But then you design a character and you're like, this character wears a vacuum suit. It's like, you know, so with like vacuum seal like the, because nobody's body, especially female breasts, don't work like that. They don't get, you don't see bodysuits like this with the breasts looking like this, sucked into the suit. This makes no sense, none whatsoever. It's annoying. That's why I was everybody like a lot of people were like shitting on Zero Suit Samus's design change in Smash. What was it, Smash Ultimate? Anime says so. They showed her design change in Smash Ultimate because like her bodysuit is no longer like vacuum sealed. Like that's how right. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be vacuum sealed. Like I'm glad they made that change. It's still not 100% great, but it's way better than what it was. Let me see if I have a comparison up real quick. See if I find one. TSS Smash 4. I can type good. Nah, that's not it. Oh, there's one. You can even see it here. It's a lot better. Still not great, but it's a lot better. Is this it? Oh wait, is this somebody? Oh, this is like a makeup thing. I didn't want to click on that. You can see it though. Like, look at this. It don't work like that. That's still not great, but it's better. It's an improvement. But yeah. I know a lot of people don't, well, not a lot. I know some people don't like the Zero Suit Samus idea. I actually don't mind it. I mean, she's always had a bodysuit anyway into her armor, so it doesn't make... I get why they do it. And in-game, in Metroid Zero Mission, it made sense for the storyline they went for there, where she got powered down for a moment to gain her suit back, and it become extremely powerful, which is like so satisfying. I love that sequence in that game. I hate having her from the Space Pirates. But when you actually get to that point, you get the suit back and you get that empowerment, and she get all the unknown weapons become known. She get a gravity suit and the beam. I'm like, But yeah, they overuse the design though. They overuse it way too much now. This is one of my favorite. With that, let me stop stuttering for a second. That's one of my favorite moments in gaming. I still love the original Metroid on NES. It's one of my favorite games of all time. I love it, love it, love it. Metroid Zero Mission's in-game sequence after you crash back on the planet from being shot down by the Space Pirates was surprisingly good, and it felt surprisingly good to complete it. It's an annoying sequence because you have to run around and sneak around. You're not used to doing that in a Metroid game, but then once you get to that point where you fight the mirror, and then you get your suit, and then like just that feeling of when you look at your power-ups and it's like, and it like lights up and it shows what it actually is because it's been hidden the entire game, and you get all that power and you just like one shot Space Pirates now. It's like, oh man, this is why I'm here. One of my favorite in-game sequences in the series. It's right up there with I think the handheld Metroid games have the best end sequences. Super has a, don't get me wrong, Super is the master of like storytelling, but Fusion's end sequence is my favorite. So I played that game, I only beat it once. Fusion's end sequence is my favorite. Just because it's like, it was such a personality turn for her. And I know a lot of people hate Fusion because like introduced so much personality into not personality, but so much dialogue to Samus. But I thought it was done well. And for the kind of game it was, and for the simple one, I think it did great. Fusion is actually my favorite Metroid game, next to Metroid NES. And I know that's blasphemy. I know that's blasphemy. Somebody's gonna clip that and put it on the internet, and I'm gonna get canceled. But I know it's blasphemy. But hear me out. I love Super Metroid. I think Super Metroid is a masterclass in game design. I think anybody going into game design, there are like 3 or 4 games that I think you need to play to understand what game design is all about. no matter what game you're going into, what kind of game you're going to make into making, there's 3 or 4 games that for sure I think you need to play. Not saying you gotta beat them or anything like that, or they'd have to be included in your design ideas. Just that I think they're games that you should play to really understand how to tell stories and how to entice the player and how to give the player a good gameplay experience without a lot of the fluff. Because Super Metroid, that game told you the entire story with no dialogue. Super Metroid Buck Bumble, and Buck Bumble. He got it. It's all Buck Bumble. If you play Buck Bumble, you understand game design. Super Metroid is absolutely one of them, for sure. Super Metroid is, I think that's like a masterclass in game design that you just, it's one of those games you have to like, not have to, that I highly recommend if you're going into game design, play that game through and get an idea of like what it's like. You may not like it, and if you don't like it, that's fine. But I think that a lot of what it has to show and offer as a game, as far as design, is really integral. I had it right. Integral. Very integral to game design. Another game that I highly recommend that I say should be played by somebody that's going into game design, and at the end of the day, it's lasted a long time. Oh yeah. And a lot is because of the fact that her butt, what I miss. With Super Metroid, the thing is, like, there's so much to learn from it, as far as, again, storytelling, as far as gameplay mechanics, as far as how to entice your player to go forward, and also how to give your player freedom in your game design. Because that's the one thing about Super Metroid that stands out to this day, is that there are so many ways to play through that game that if you're creative enough, that you can. I mean, people play through the game backwards. That should tell you all you need to know. Not very many games are designed so fluidly or so well that you can play through them in backwards order and it works and it's successful. So I would say, like, Super Metroid is a masterclass in game design. It's one of those games that, like, it's just a masterclass. The other ones for me are like more personal, and the next one I would say would be Mario Brothers 3, because Mario 3 is just such a class in how to make a strong impression with very little, because every one of Mario 3's levels are very short. There's very few levels in Mario 3 that are like a standard, like, which we consider a standard level length, right? But you could go to a lot of those levels, not all of them, but you can go to a lot of those levels, and from the first few seconds of a screen, you remember like that what the level is, just from seeing it, or you at least get like an idea of what that level was when you last played. Like, it leaves that much of an impression, because every one of those levels are just so tightly designed that whatever gimmick they're introducing or that they're using is memorable for that level and for that world. Hell, even the levels that don't fit the theme of the world they're in, like, you'll notice them immediately, like, oh, I know what this is, and it's kind of wild. And obviously, gameplay wise, it's top notch. It's so crisp. That gameplay is like just super crisp. Mario 3 is one of the games I still play to this day, all the time. It's so, man, it's hard to really like put into words how crisp it feels. Like, it's just how tight it feels. And again, there's so much freedom. You get so many options to do so many things. You get rewarded for exploring. It's another game I think if you're going into game design, it's just really just a good game to, like, all right, this is what I'm gonna, it's a game I can study off of. After that, for me, it gets a little blurry. But I would say another game that I think is a really good, if you're going into more of an RPG kind of side, or like a strategy game kind of side, or anything like that, excuse me, I think that's best. That was bad, actually. I mean, you know what you can do, but I haven't done in a while. I need to flip this. Whoops. I'm on the wrong layer. I just realized that all the time I'm drawing on the same layer, aren't I? Whoops. Oh, that's fine. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's not even the final drawing, so that's cool. Mirror canvas. It's about time for some mirror canvas. They haven't done it in a while. Yep. It's actually okay though. It's not that bad. Mm, 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 Even the hand perspective is not bad because his hand is closer and the hand is further away. Okay. I could probably do some more with the arms to make it like lean into that size a little bit more. So I'll do that in the final drawing probably. If you're going to like an RPG kind of deal, the other game that I think would be like just poignant to actually play would be Chrono Trigger. If you're going to like more of a turn-based or like a story-based kind of game, either Chrono Trigger or Earthbound, those two games. Actually, I'll say both those games. Earthbound is again just another. That one is less about the game design and more about the story and like the environment design and the music and the techniques used. Earthbound to me is really fascinating. Mother 3 is great too. And Earthbound Beginnings is great, but I don't think they've really caught that fire, that really interesting like holy shit that they caught on like Earthbound, because there was so much stuff that they did that was so different. And I think that game, of all games, will teach you how to be experimental. Or at least show you how to be experimental. Earthbound really just was like, let's throw samples in here. Who thought about sampling sounds for video games? Like, aside from, like, obviously, like, samples for, like, explosions or samples for, like, missile launching or something like that? Sure. Who thought about using samples for music in games, aside from, like, trying to imitate hip-hop? In 1990, what was it, 94, 92? I can't remember. I think, like, 94. It made it work, and it's such a disarming game. Like the tone somehow manages to balance itself out, despite the fact that it's such a goofy game on the outside. Whether you play it or you watch it, and it doesn't get like super deep. It's not like Mother 3. Mother 3 gets deep, and Mother 3 gets deep and it gets hurtful. Mother 3 is a heartbreaker game. Like that's the mature quote unquote game in the series. But like Mother 2, aka Earthbound, that game gets pretty dark. Dark is what I'm looking for. It gets dark. I don't know if it gets deep. It gets dark. Surprisingly dark. And so it's a masterclass in like tone and just really pressing, like really experimenting really. And trying something different. I think it's something that a lot of game design these days just doesn't really hit on. Like there's not a lot of experimentation. Like there's a lot of like formulaic stuff really. And that's not me shitting on game designers. Like I'm not the one, because I'm trying to be I would like to be a game designer as well. I gained my dear projects. I'm trying to get off the ground, but I'm just kind of working on the writing stuff right now. But there isn't like a lot. There's a lot less like risk taking these days. Like there's a lot more stuff in like more known projects like IPs, and I think that's something I miss about those days. All the games on SNES games. You are correct. Oh, Chrono Trigger. Before I forget, Chrono Trigger. I feel not even just for the turn-based system itself. The turn-based system is okay. The battle system is pretty good. The story is great. For me, Chrono Trigger is the perfect example of how to say a lot with a little in a little time. Because Chrono Trigger is a brief game. There's a lot of stuff you can do to make it an 80-hour game. There's so much stuff that's in there, side quests and all that. But if you want to get from the beginning to the end of the game and just beat the last boss, you can probably do it in like casually, probably 20 hours. The game is short. It can feel like a long game, but honestly, like once you get to the part where a certain cataclysmic event happens and you think you're supposed to go on, you can just beat the game then. Like you're allowed to go beat the game at that moment, and that's it. And that's not very far into the game. Like that's maybe a third of the way into the game. No, it's like half a game. It's like half a game. Think about the time frame. Oh, it's the entire thing. Was that a half hour? That blew by. That was a half hour extended. Wow. Alright, what we gonna do? Mega Man 5 OST. That's what's happening. That's right. Mega Man 5. A great soundtrack. We're on our chiptune now. But yeah, no, that game is like very go to the point and get there. Like it's a very brief game, but there's a lot of stuff in there that's really good. Obviously, but I like a lot of SNES games. I guess for me, because I'm so like I grew up with the SNES too, and that was my first home console. Like I talk about computer games all the time, how I played like Atari ST and the XE, and how I played other stuff aside from the mainstream consoles. And I had the Atari Lynx, technically my first system. My first home console was Super Nintendo. And so a lot of that stuff kind of resonated with me. So I can see how I'm probably biased towards that too. I'm very biased towards it. I don't even lie about that. But also, I feel like the Super Nintendo Genesis age is where game design kind of really hit this like really strong stride. There were obviously misses there too. It wasn't perfect, obviously, especially when it came like movie ports and stuff like that. But there were so many games in that era that you can just call back to on all systems, really, on Super Nintendo, on Genesis, on TurboGrafx 16, that was just ahead of their time. Like designers were really trying to forge an industry. And you can really see it, honestly, in my opinion. Like, you could really see what they were trying to like bring about with their ideas. Even to this day, like a lot of that stuff still, at least for me, I'll say for me, a lot of what they were saying, what they were doing, resonates to this day. Like look back at like Final Fantasy VI's last boss theme for Kefka. That theme is insane, and he did it all on the Super Nintendo sound chip. Bro, I don't have to tell you how limited that sound chip is compared to what you can do now. But I feel like that's also what drove a lot of development too, is that like they knew they had these limits and they really found creative ways to get around them. Excuse me. That's not to say that they need to have more limits again or nothing like that. But I do think it speaks volumes that like a lot of indie games have a lot of heart considering what they're made with, considering what they're made with. Like, not to be the dead horse, I know this is always talked about, and I want to overhype it. But look at Undertale, and what it was, and look at the style of game it was, and what it was made of, and how it turned out. It says something to me. But that being said, I'm not some like, oh man, fuck technology. I'm not that guy. I am perfectly fine with technology. I just think that sometimes current design. And it's not even just like game design. I think a lot of the design ideas and stuff are just tainted by the idea that... Not tainted. I won't say tainted. That's the wrong word. That sounds very hipster. Today's culture is very tainted by the idea of technology that inherent... No, that's not what I'm saying. This is ambitious console. They wanted to add Citizen 2 and also Teleview happened briefly. Yeah, that's true, yeah. Super Nintendo was a very ambitious console for its time. Nintendo was like lock and key on it like they are nowadays, but why does it end up being so nasty looking on lines? I don't want that. Oh well, this is not Final Line. I'm getting ready for Final Lines. I think I like her hair being short, but I didn't know if I was gonna like that or not. The only thing that bothers me now is her hands being so, like, this hand looks like the right size, this hand looks too small. Which I can't fix, because you know what we're going to do. You know what we're going to do. I'm going to take it over here, I'm going to match it up to that, a little bigger. That's a little too big considering what, what's the name of that? Yeah, there we go. I think that's a little better. I'm not going to make the fingers longer. Maybe found the Game Boy. Oh, it's totally different game. Yeah, it's really interesting. The Game Boy games are actually really good games, by the way. I should mention that. Except, no, the first one was good too. That's like Mega Man, the Wily Wars, I think. That's on a different layer. Okay. Folder. Oh my god. That's how much I play this game. I did the damn elevator sound. I have problems, and I need to solve them quickly. I did not just do the elevator sound. I'm like, I literally, alright. Oh my god. Because you get in the level, it's like, you teleport down, you walk forward in that screen. Then that screen, oh my god, I have problems. Let me see how accurate I am to that. Let's see how accurate. Oh god. I'm afraid to see how accurate I am. Let's watch some Pink Kitty Rose. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's pretty accurate. Oh god. I'm hoping the timer's not that good. I play way too much. Oh god! What is wrong with me? I play too many video games. Oh god! That was scarily accurate. That should have been that accurate. Oh man! All right, right, dude. All right. I played so much Mega Man 5. Mega Man, first of all, I should mention, Mega Man 5 is my favorite of the classic Mega Man games. It's my favorite one, bar none. I know everybody's like, Mega Man 2 is the best, Mega Man 3, whatever. They're great. Mega Man 3 is like probably my second favorite, but Mega Man 5, you're not telling me nothing different. Best soundtrack, best bosses, best game, best story, all that. I'm biased because that was the first Mega Man game I actually played, which is weird to say because I love Mega Man since 2, ever since. But when I was little, I never got a chance to play it. It's weird. When I was young, I probably told you before. But when I was really little, I was like 8, 9, 7 years old or whatever. I didn't have an NES. We talked about it before. But my cousins had NES, and so I would play the games that they got when I went over their houses and stuff like that. And they would play the Atari stuff that I had on my house. We kind of traded like that. So the weird thing was, nobody bought Mega Man. Not a cousin. Not a one. Not one of them bought Mega Man. And so I didn't get to play Mega Man proper until, how old was I? 17? When did I work at, what's the name? No, I was 18. So I bought, okay, so what happened was, when I was around 18, 19, when I started going to community college, I started working over at, I was working at KB Toys at the time. And next to my KB Toys, there was a Funko Land. And my homeboy Malik, who was the manager, had an NES he wasn't using. So he gave me the NES, or sold it to me. It barely worked, but it worked enough that I could play NES games. So I started renting them. And I brought some NES games from my cousin. And so, when I was around 17, or 18, I said, like 18, 19, that's when I first played Mega Man 5. And I was in love. And then I fell in love with the entire series. Granted, I'd already played, obviously, Mega Man X, Mega Man X2, Mega Man X3. So actually, I shouldn't say when I fell in love with the series. I fell in love with the series a long time ago. But when I first finally got to experience the original games. I played Mega Man X before I played Mega Man. That's where I'm at. When I played 5, it was over. I love 5. It was hard as hell. You too? Yeah. Like, because Super Nintendo was my first system. So Super Nintendo, when Mega Man X came out, when Mega Man X came out, that was an event. Oh boy, I played the out of Mega Man X. I played Mega Man X till that cart stopped working. Probably. I played Mega Man X till the cows came. The cows came home, said moo, put out milk, went to sleep, woke up the next day. I was still playing Mega Man X. Let me tell you, I played Mega Man X day in, day out. That's another game, by the way, that you should probably play if you get into game design. Mega Man X is a brilliantly designed game. I know that the Aaron from Game Grumps, he did the whole Sequelitis or Egoraptor. He did the Sequelitis on and everything. He was very accurate with that Sequelitis. That one I agree with. The other Sequelitis I didn't agree with that much, but that one I agree with. Listen, by the way, I don't want to like jeopardize this, but I am a huge Game Grumps fan, so I just gotta point that out real quick in case there was a. Why is this not? There we go. I'm not sure why I'm doing that, other than there's no reason for me to do that. I'm not gonna be using this. This is not the final picture. Okay, anyway. Still got Mega Man X cards. Oh, nice. I don't have my X cards anymore. I got it on Virtual Console and stuff. Don't tell me nothing about no Nepal Man theme. Sorry. Steam. The Mega Man themes are what really were one of my biggest inspirations. Which again, I didn't play Mega Man games until after I was 18, 19. But Mega Man and Mega Man X themes like my biggest inspiration theme for like my game music. Or my music in general, really. It was that and Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy is a huge influence on my game music. That's why I'm such a huge Uematsu fan, because oh my god, his work is incredible. And Uematsu did that with no musical training, so I feel kind of a kinship. I mean, I'm sure he's been training since then now. He was musically sound and everything, but at the time, like, he was just going off of what he enjoyed and what he heard and what he learned from listening, from observing. And that's kind of how I learned music. I just learned music from observing and listening and, like, practicing what I heard. I would hear something and I would go back to the keyboard to repeat it. So I could hear the tones and everything. So that's how I learned to play music. That left with a lot of deficiencies though as well. Like, I can't read music, and I've tried, and I know the terms and I know the symbols and whatnot. So if I see a quarter note, I know what a quarter note is. I see a half note, I know what a half note is. I see a treble, I know what a treble clef is. I know what a sharp and a flat is. I know what major and minor scale is. I've had to do some refreshers every once in a while to kind of remind me how they match up and everything. But if you put them on like a sheet of music and put them in front of me, I couldn't play it. I have to hear it first. And reading music has always been one of my like long-term goals I want to accomplish, but it's just with everything else going on and me trying to do so much other stuff, it's like, do I put the time into that or do I put the time into other things? I'm like, well, music for me is a hobby. I do like doing stuff and like putting stuff out there for people to consume and enjoy, but I'm not gonna be going and doing concerts and nothing like that. I might impose stuff for projects here and there for fun, for friends, and I get paid work for it sometimes too, so it's not completely devoid of that. But it's not something to stake my career on anything, so I just do it for the enjoyment of it. So I kind of want to play with her hair more, but I like where this is at. But I'm like, I want to play with her hair more. Just give her some more designs with it, which I could do. I'm well within my right to do it. I'm well within my right. Well, hell, do it then, bro. All right, I'ma do it then, bro. Do it then, bro. I'ma do it then, bro. Do it then, bro. Yeah, bro. Do it then, bro. I'ma do it, bro. I'm a trip. So where we at right now is that once I'm done with this, I'm gonna just like finalize things, and I'm gonna just finally just do final line work. This is not final line work. This is very close, so that you can see it. The reason I'm cleaning it up so much is that when I do like final lines, I can just easily tell where line's supposed to be at. All right, let's go ahead and do this. I'm trying to think. So now I got this here, and we'll go back to the hair one more time because apparently I'm not complacent with the hair yet. We can do something really wild like that. The shark fin mohawk. Birdie, right? Oh, we want birdie? Hold up. If we going with the birdie route, we gotta do this. Hold up, let me make sure I get it right. Hold on. Let me make sure I get it right. Now, we ain't going with this current birdie. We gotta go with classic birdie. We gotta go with this. Yeah, that's it. If he's going the birdie route, we gotta do these. I don't know how the hell he got that hold in his hair. Like, I don't know how he does that. I need him to tell me what his stylist does to make that hold work. That defies all logic. How does that work? Explain to me how that works. I don't have it up. Explain to me how that works. Explain to me how the hair up here stays up there. I need somebody to tell me how that works. That does not work. I'm too afraid to try it, but somebody do that, report back how the hell you get your hair to stay like that, because I don't know. That makes no sense. The birdie. Like, do you just lay your hair on the side like this and just like get a cylinder? You get an old can and just cut around it? How do you do that and make it work? And then lift your head back up and it's all there. What? I'm assuming that's just fake hair. That's what it is. It's not real. It's a big plastic mohawk. That's what's going on. You can't convince me otherwise. There's no way that works. None. We're saving this. Oh, that's my favorite song right here. One of my favorites. Another one of my favorites. I don't know. This whole soundtrack is my favorite. What am I talking about? Okay, tell me this game ain't got the best music in the series. Well, maybe you could. It's hard to judge which one has the best music. God damn. Actually, I'm looking at this. This shoulder is wrong. Should probably come out more at this angle. Yes, a little better. It's such a chill track, but it fits the level. And this part right here. This transition to this key is just killing me. What key is this? Sounds like I'm not sure. And I love the way they always find their way back. That's my favorite thing about Mega Man tracks. They find their way back so smooth most of the time. And this one, like most of the Mega Man tracks too, kind of have like a stop and a go, and like more of a hit and run, hit and run, hit and run. But that one is like very much like so relaxed compared to most of the tunes in the series. Like this. Man, I could, boy. Anyway, I'm getting strung out on the music, man. I'm sorry. Here we go. So what I'm thinking, for real now, I was thinking about the style I gave her in the other one. It's like this. That same song, I don't like that either. Revert. Yeah, I think I'm gonna end up going with the shorter hair. I'm pretty positive I'm gonna go with the shorter hair. I need to pull this back up real quick. So we're gonna do in 92, even though we had fun in 91. Yeah, I think that's going over that. I kind of, Hold on. Another idea. Damn it, I did it on the wrong layer. Whoops. That made that pointless. Which one has... Is that Mega Man 9? Mega Man 9, boss. It is 9. Actually, what's his name? What the hell? My favorite Mega Man X game? Ooh. My favorite Mega Man X game is the one with this song in it. That's my favorite Mega Man X game. But no, X2 is my favorite game. I love X1. X2 kind of hit every single note that I wanted. Like, X2 was perfect. And it's weird because X2's sound, X2 and X3 sound chip is like objectively worse than the one they use in X1. You can hear like the sound they use and stuff. X1 sound chip is way different. Like listen to that theme and listen to something like Storm Eagle. You can definitely hear the difference. You can hear the difference in the sound fonts when you download them. I have the sound fonts on downloaded in Logic and I use them to play stuff. Just kind of play around. I haven't made anything official yet. But you can hear the difference in the sound fonts, the stuff they use. Yeah, you know what? I don't think anything is hitting as much as the Actually, oh man, this track is so good too. The thing that kills me with like these Mega Man X tracks, the Mega Man X tracks are actually really short. They're tiny loops. That loop is like 30 seconds at best. Let me see. Like if I go to where his loop starts at. That was 6 seconds, right? So take 6 seconds off of the end. Not even 30 seconds. Oh, yeah, 30 seconds. 37. 6 seconds off. 31 second loop. They did all that in 31 seconds. They told that entire story in 31 seconds. That's what I mean by the limitations, how they use them back in the time. 31 seconds to do all that. Meanwhile, you got orchestras out here doing fully complex symphonies and everything. They still don't touch me as much as like a lot of these old tracks do. Not traditional orchestras, not at all, not at all, nothing like that. But I just feel like actually the Monster Hunter series is a really, really great example of this, because Monster Hunter gets these full orchestras. They have all these full sounds. You can hear it in their tracks. But I can load up a Monster Hunter track right now, and I can tell you, like, if I load up Volcano, let me try. I still remember Volcano. I can spell good. Me spell good. But you still get that really strong melody, that really strong feel. That like you can remember this pattern. Like it is there, and it's a very memorable sound. Or even actually, you know what? Another better one. That's my favorite song. That's my favorite song in the game. But then the other one that I think really pulls it out is Like, it's such a strong melody and such a strong sound that resonates that you remember like what it was associated with. And I think that's what a lot of like tracks, a lot of music in games today kind of miss that. They go for like much more like a cinematic sound, and it kind of annoys me. And wrong. Where is 16? That's also wrong. Where is 15? Did I not save that and I changed it? I did not, did I? Oh, I didn't save it? No, I didn't save the changes I made. What have I done? I can fix up on this. I know what I did. I didn't say the arm change, but I can fix it up now. Oh, Devil Joe. Oh man, there's a video coming up that I made. Oh my god. There's a video I did. Oh Lord. It'll be on YouTube soon enough. I'm not gonna spoil it here, but oh Lord. Yeah, that. It shouldn't. But I'm not sure. I honestly, I couldn't tell you. I'm just gonna roll with it. If it does, oh well. It is what it is. I'm so used to it now. It's like, whatever, man. All right. Mute the VOD. It's so silly, you know. Cause it's like the idea of like we're giving away the music for free or something, and I'm like, no, like I'm promoting this track that I love and to my audience. Now, obviously there's different stipulations for that or whatever. But like, it's so annoying that no matter what the context of it, there's no context is what it comes down to when it comes to these DMCA claims and stuff. It's like, oh, this music was heard by the bot. Shut it down. Shut it down. Shut her down. Shut her down. Oh yeah, they made sure this thing like really felt like you were fighting something that you shouldn't be fighting yet. to be quite honest, like when you run into this point in the game, it's like you really shouldn't be messing with this. Maybe you should leave now. Later on, doesn't matter as much as you get geared out of it. It's like, okay, cool. But when you're fighting Raffi and you hit his kick in, you're like, what is that? And then you hear something like. It's definitely evoking like Godzilla and just something you cannot touch yet. Like something you should not, like you shouldn't be fighting this. Whatever this thing is coming, when you hit something like this, you shouldn't be messing with it. That's what this song is really getting across to me. And I think they nailed it. want to tie these off for something. I don't know why. Oops. Valstrax. See what I mean? Like, you could hear the first few notes, it's so recognizable. You hear it, and like the theme is right there. You know it. Obviously, of course, I've played the game like 600 hours so far too, so of course I know it. But still, as soon as I heard that, once I heard this, like, I heard. I'm like, that's Valstrax. Listen to that thing. Listen to those melody. For anybody that's not seen me on stream before, when I'm doing like artwork and listening to music, this is why I tend to like try not to listen too much, because I get distracted, because I am very much into music. One part. Oh man, don't remember. Oh my god, I cannot wait till March. So I'm gonna play a little game. This is something I do in my personal time once I'm like got a character down pat. I think this is where she's at. I think this is it right here. I'm gonna say this is the final sketch FS. We'll do that. And so what I'm gonna do is now I'm gonna take this and do line work and then color it. I mean, 'cause I could color it where it's at now, but I want to get it kind of cleaned up a little bit and fix some stuff in the final lines. What I like to do is if I get a character design that I really enjoy, like to this level, is now I want to think of like what her theme song would be, or what would fit her the best. For her and her personality, definitely Valstrax theme. I'm just kidding. It wouldn't be none that dramatic. That'd be way too much for her. Probably something like oh yeah. I think this is it. I think this will fit her. Don't sleep on Konami on Super Nintendo, boy. Oh, God. Good God. I love this track so much. But then especially this part, I love this triplet. To Super Nintendo in like, what is this, 92, 93? Come on, man. They are killing this MIDI guitar. I love it. I love switches like that. I love it so much. I'm sorry. I just I'm into prog rock too, so like when I hear stuff like this, I'm like, yo, this is inside my alley. But yeah, I think this probably be something like that she would have. This probably be a thing. I think this would fit her perfectly. Like when she started the power to attack or something, this would be her right here. This would be her. And she'd be saying something like lines like, "You thought you were strong? Let me show you what power really is," or something, you know. Somebody's in the room for it. Man. This song is so much energy. Yeah, okay. So now I'll take this and color it. Yeah. What is this? I don't know what that is. I don't know what that's. I don't know what that is. I don't know why I saw that. That game is another game that has a soundtrack that is highly underrated and never talked about. That game's soundtrack is so good. Oh man. Alright, I'm gonna say that. So next time we meet, which should be tomorrow at about the same time. Probably a little bit early. Well, no, probably the same time, 5:30. No. Tomorrow I'll be on earlier because I have something to do at 6. So I'll be trying to get on at like 4:30, 5 o'clock for real tomorrow. I'm gonna start the process to get this colored for real now. Because now I'm satisfied with design. I like where it's at. If I'm gonna do any kind of pattern or something like that, I'll probably do that in the coloring part. I won't do it here. And then what I would normally do is once I get to this point where I'm actually coloring like this design, or I'm like doing line work for this, I'll do this one piece. I'll put it out there, let people react to it, and then once I know that that's the character, once I feel like that's the character I'm going with, I'll start drawing different poses for it, do actual turnaround and everything. But I usually do like one picture of the character, like boom, this is what I got, and then I'll character turn around and all that stuff. So, but this is our main character. This is Flare Viper. This is the main character. This is who we're working with. This is what we got. It's weird how just adding that one long scarf kind of just finalized the design for me. Thank you. We getting there, man. I gotta get more done, but we're gonna keep at it. We'll keep doing this every single day. That's the new goal now. I'm gonna have one of these every day. I'm gonna upload to YouTube every day. It's gonna help my YouTube content and also keep me honest and keep me doing work. It's gonna be a lot of character design for sure, but there'll be like different exercises and stuff like that. But for right now, I want to get back into character design. This has been fun for me to get back into the process. So, yeah, no, this has been cool. I really like when she came out. Tune in tomorrow for sure. I will try to be here tomorrow for sure, 100%. I actually still have to do some more work, so I'm not done yet. I'm gonna take a break, get some air, and I'm gonna come back, and I gotta finish this logo I was working on for a buddy of mine, because I'm way behind on that now. So I'm gonna get that done, and hopefully get that tuned in. But I'm not gonna be streaming. I'm not streaming that. I'm just gonna do that while I'm like watching YouTube or something, or jamming out to this. I'm about to jam out to this some more. Man, I'm sorry. I just gotta say one more time before I stop. This part when it switches up to the oh my god. That is so. I love stuff like that. It's like guitar. That guitar in the back. Oh my god, man. Somebody was over there cooking biscuits and gravy on that Super Nintendo sound chip. They was in the back in 1993 on that Super Nintendo sound chip with a whole grill, just cooking. They was back there cooking. They was like, "You want some fries? Hold up, we gonna do some fries on the grill." Hey, boy, can't tell me nothing about that. Anyway, no, I actually really like. I like what she went. I like her design. I like. It fits with like. It fits what I wanted. Yeah, I think this is it. Um, Usually I would go through more iterations. So like I would do this, and I would do another design and try something else out, or I would keep trying stuff out. But I really sometimes you strike it on the first, not the first go. It's not the first go at all because we've gone through a lot of different changes with this one sketch alone. But no, I like where it went. So and obviously if I go detail, uh, you know, do that a little bit. That's a little part. You get the idea. Probably do that. Probably be into that kind of thing, which I could, but nah. Yeah, I'm in observation mode, looking at it. Like the one thing, the few things that definitely bother me, um, anatomy wise is not fantastic, but I'm not too stressed about that per se. I do kind of want to do something with that leg, so I might adjust that a little bit. Cause that, I mean, that's definitely where the knee is at, and it's bending back. But I think that in my attempt to stylize it a little bit too much, I may have lost track of the anatomy of that leg. So if I were to change anything, I would change that, and I would probably make this part of the leg smaller and further back, and I would probably shade it out. I would probably darken it. Oh, not that. I would probably darken it so you can tell like it's meant to be. You've probably seen this before, but that's to to show that that's like further back. It's out of lighting, um, and to create some more perspective on it. Other things I may introduce when I do the lines. So that'll probably be something I fix before I get to the very final lines. Which, yeah, when I say final lines, I don't mean like super clean lines that are gonna look like, oh my god, like I did in Flash. I'm trying to do this actually all through like sketchbook and Photoshop. So I'm gonna like take this, blow it up to like an obscene amount, and then do line work in here with like a more pencil like filter, and then go and take it into Photoshop and then color or probably do my flats in here and then take it in Photoshop and do effects and like shading. I'm trying to do a different process for it. Just kind of get into the habit of it because honestly, I rely on Flash too much to do things. Flash is great for when I want to look on vector stuff specifically, but I'm supposed to get away from that. So for my own stuff, I'm gonna try that out. Other than that, probably the scarf could use something. Like the scarf could use some kind of detail, but that's something I'll probably touch on when I do the coloring. I'll figure that piece out. Same thing with the scythe. The scythe could use some kind of detail, some kind of coloring, some kind of decal or something. Probably something related to Flame since the name is Flare Viper. I thought about giving her some kind of earring or something like that, but I'm like, nah, not really. I think she's okay without it. Erie would definitely have earrings though, because Erie is a little bit more materialistic, so she would probably have like earrings and jewelry or something like that on. I'm sure. Flair doesn't want to beat stuff. Flair doesn't want to beat people up. No, not people. She wants to just like fight dragons. She wants to want to punch stuff. She's very much nice. She's not even that. Like she's not a brute. She like I said, she's like Vegeta. She just wants to prove her strength against everybody and everything. That's kind of her personality. Then she gets melted by Iria, and it's like the strangest thing because it's like, what? Why? It's kind of like Vegeta and Bulma. It's like, y'all together? Oh, all right. Clearly y'all are. Y'all got a kid in the future. Okay. So, very, very, very opposites attract kind of deal. It's gonna be fun writing an odd couple. I've not written an odd couple ever. I've written couples before. I'm writing a couple now in Rune Age, or not Rune Age. It's not called Rune Age anymore. It's the old title before I found out the it was a thing. Arc of Ash, which is centered around a couple. that run a artifact shop. And they don't have to go on like some treasure hunts and stuff. And I like it where it's at right now. But I don't have to talk too much about that because that's spoiling. And I think, honestly, I feel like couples aren't touched on enough in media. Like, it's one thing to have, the whole boy meets girl, and, they go through all the song and dance of being attracted to each other and all that stuff. But what about, why don't we get stories where people are already in a relationship, and, like, in a healthy relationship, mind you, or maybe not healthy, but in a relationship and, like, navigating that space. Like, I find that to be interesting as well, and I think that's something I want to write for a long time, and so I'm doing it in two different stories now. And this one is more LGBT, whereas the other one is not. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. Well, all right, I'm done rambling now. I'm definitely out of energy. I need to go eat something or do something. Like I said, I got to finish this logo for the night, and then that's gonna be my night for real. Thank anybody that came by for hanging out. I appreciate it as always. Crinkum as always. Thank you for hanging out and being here and helping out the stream. I am. Yeah, that's it. That's me for today. Oh God. Ugh. Y'all have a good one. No doubt. Thanks for keeping me honest with it. This has been good. This has been good for my soul. This is something I've been meaning to do for a while. It's good to just like see progress and be doing this. My ears itching because I've had these headphones on for way too long, and now my ears are sweating. It's kind of gross. Ew. But yeah, y'all have a good one. I will see y'all tomorrow. Tomorrow at 4. Tomorrow at 4:30. Sorry, tomorrow at 4:30. I'll see you guys. 4:30 Mountain. 4:30 Mountain. Yeah, we go with everybody. Have a good night.